Thank you very much for agreeing to see me, Dorian.
Not at all. You said it was important. Viki, would you like some coffee?
No, actually, I'd rather get straight to the point, please.
Of course. Please sit down.
Thank you. This is about my divorce hearing. I assume you know that Clint and I are no longer together.
Yes, I heard. I'm very sorry.
Oh, you don't have to be. It's really the best thing for both of us. Unfortunately, though, he feels that he deserves full custody of the children because he's now questioning my ability to take care of them properly. While there's absolutely no merit to his claims, I am going to have to fight him in court.
I hadn't realized it had gotten that far. Is there any chance that...
No, I'm afraid there isn't. We have tried to work it out. It's impossible. Dorian, I realize that you and I are not exactly the best friends, but you are a mother, and I'm sure that you can understand how very important it is to me that I win this custody fight. I have to defeat Clint in this, and in order to do so, I need your help.
I knew that you and Clint were having problems, but this does come as a shock. The two of you fighting for custody.
Yes, I'm well aware that most people seem to think I'm out of my mind. I can assure you that I am not. I'm simply a mother who's trying to do what's best for her children, just exactly the way I did when Jessica was taken. Now, Dorian, you helped me then, and I'm hoping you will do so again.
Does it have to be an all-or-nothing situation? Couldn't you both agree to share custody?
No, it's out of the question. We can't agree on anything. Look, when Jessica was taken, you gave me airtime on your show to try to reach whoever took her, and it worked. My appeal brought her home. What I need from you now is a copy of that tape.
You want to use it to show the judge you're a fit mother?
Right.
I hate to be the devil's advocate in this, but Viki, that show was taped before your memory loss.
Well, I know that. But the tape still shows that I'm a loving, a capable, a responsible mother. Amnesia doesn't change that. I would very much like to use the tape in court. If you would let me, I'd be very grateful to you.
Have you thought about seeing a psychiatrist?
I have seen a psychiatrist. It has nothing to do with this, Dorian, at all.
Please, I assure you, I didn't ask the question to upset you.
I came here to ask you for a simple favor. Please don't give me a lecture.
Of course you can have the tape. It's one of the most moving appeals I have ever seen. And if you think it can help your case, you're most welcome to it.
Thank you very much.
Not at all. I'll have the studio send it over to you this afternoon. Viki, this may seem very hard for you to believe, but in the past 8 years, we've become closer. We understand each other better. I wish you luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Elizabeth, I'm sure you're overestimating my power over the opposite sex.
I think not.
Well, I think that Mother's probably right. That would be the most efficient way to handle pushing your appointment through the commission.
I'm all for efficiency, and a trip to Washington would be wonderful.
Well, then it's settled. Consider it done.
Oh, really, I can't thank you enough. And you, Elizabeth, you must allow me to throw a dinner party in your honor. Perhaps when Charles and I get back, make our triumphant return.
We'd be delighted.
Yes.
I must go. I'm afraid I've been asked to testify in a very distressing case.
Oh, for Viki and Clint?
Yes.
Well, I know that's not going to be much fun, but don't worry about the appointment. We will win them over together.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, once again, thank you so much, Charles. And you too, Elizabeth. It was really a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, that's what I call an impressive woman.
Yes, I agree with you, Mother. No more impressive than you, Mother.
Do is return the favor.
I didn't pull any major coups.
No, you just sat there while Judge Guernsey tore apart my whole line of questioning.
Oh, I knew Tom could hold his own. Maybe you don't feel like dinner tonight?
Oh, I feel like dinner as long as you're paying. Got you, didn't I?
Herb?
Oh, yeah, excuse us, Judith. Yes, what is it?
I can tell you.
Well, now, I couldn't let you take the stand without a rooting section, could I?
Does that mean you're rooting for me in even more ways than one?
If you're talking about you making Diane a beneficiary of your will, I won't pretend that I approve. I will keep quiet about it for now.
All right.
Stand.
Dorian Lord.
Viki and I have been through so much together, I think it would be difficult to describe us as just friends.
But you have been close for many years.
Oh, yes. Close enough to be at each other's throats. If that's what you meant. We have fought about such diverse things as...
I don't know. I thought she was supposed to be a friendly witness.
This is another one of her tricks.
But despite this history of competition and disagreement between you, you are here freely to testify in her behalf.
Yes. Because, well, for one thing, we have, over the last couple of years, become closer to each other. I think we understand each other much better, and... well, be that as it may, never, ever, in all the time that I have known her, have I ever doubted her love and her commitment to her children.
Have you seen proof of this?
Yes, I have seen proof of it. I also have proof of it.
Would you please tell us what this is?
Yes, it is a videotape of my television show. Viki appeared on it to make a personal appeal to her baby Jessica's kidnappers.
Your Honor, I would like to enter this as evidence and play the tape so we can judge for ourselves my client's love for her children.
Mrs. Sanders, this is a grandstand play, and you know it.
Your Honor, this tape does contain a heartrending speech by my client, but this is a heartrending dilemma. Isn't it highly relevant to see Mrs. Buchanan not just as a disinterested, distracted mother that Mr. Callison would like us to believe she is, but in fact, a woman who is totally dedicated to the welfare of her children?
I'll see the tape. Bailiff.
This is nothing but a cheap trick.
Don't kid yourself. We had something like it, we'd use it ourselves.
Here's a transcript of the tape, Your Honor. Thank you for sharing the tape with us, Mrs. Lord. It said more eloquently than any testimony what a splendid mother Viki Buchanan has been. Your Honor. Your witness.
Yeah. I'd like to thank you, too, Mrs. Lord. When was that tape made, by the way?
I thought I made that clear. It was made on the day that little Jessica was returned home by the kidnappers.
Oh.
It was a direct result, of course, of Viki's appeal.
Well, then it all happened prior to Viki Buchanan's loss of memory. Is that correct?
Well...
Is it correct?
yes, but I don't see what difference that makes. She loved her children then. She loves them now.
Well, I think it makes a great deal of difference. Would you say that Viki Buchanan was under a tremendous amount of stress at the time of the taping?
Of course. Her child had been kidnapped.
Yes, now, it's a well-known fact that, psychological fact that certain people respond better to stress than others. However, a loss of 8 years' memory is a rare and disturbing phenomenon, isn't it?
Objection. The witness is hardly qualified to pass judgment on my client's mental and emotional health.
Well, Mrs. Lord has been a practicing physician of some repute in this town. Mrs. Sanders put her on the stand. I simply want to take advantage of her breadth of knowledge.
Overruled, Mrs. Sanders. You put her up there. Mr. Callison can get her medical opinion.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you, Mrs. Sanders, for making this witness available to us. Now, Mrs. Lord, isn't it true that during times of stress and anxiety, Viki Buchanan isn't always in control of her emotions or her mental state?
No, I wouldn't say always.
Well, but often.
I didn't say often either.
Well, let's be specific. Do you happen to recall the day that Viki Buchanan came to ask you to make available the tape that we've just seen?
Yes. She was very determined. She felt that it would help support her case. But she was very much in control of her feelings.
Would you describe, well, you just did, her emotional state. How would you describe her feelings towards you? In other words, she just come for a favor. Would you say that she was friendly towards you?
No, I would say that friendly was going a bit too far.
Then she was unfriendly.
She was cool. She was distant. She was a bit formal.
Formal? Oh, that's... I mean, here's a woman who desperately needs your help. She desperately needs a favor, and she treats you formally as if she has no idea how to deal with you.
I think it is very understandable, given the way things were in the past.
The way things were when? The way they were 8 years ago? You see, isn't it true that for Viki Buchanan, your relationship was frozen in time 8 years ago? Isn't it true that she came to you with no idea how your relationship had changed or matured or improved over the years?
Yes, I suppose that you could describe it that way.
Well, let's describe it that way. Let's say that the dislike and anger Viki Buchanan felt for you some 8 years ago was still alive, as if nothing had ever happened between either one of you, as if 8 years of her life had never existed.
All right, she did treat me the way she used to in the past, but what does that have to do with her children?
Will you tell me? Now, you've just demonstrated conclusively the total extent of Viki Buchanan's memory loss. Now, if she can't remember her feelings for her friends or her acquaintances, how in the name of justice can she provide a stable and loving home for her own 3 children?
You may step down, Mrs. Lord. Bailiff.
Don't let it get to you. We scored some points with Dorian.
We lost some, too.
Well, that was nice work.
John, please don't kid me. Herb made an absolute fool of me.
I thought you had a date. I cut it short. I'm still really upset about Keith's death.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Where's Diana?
I don't know, and I really don't care.
Don't tell me you're still blaming her for Keith's death.
Well, sometimes. Other times I blame myself for ever letting him stay here before he went to Brazil.
Oh, Cassie.
So how was court?
I'm furious with your father, but other than that...
Why? What did Dad do?
Because he made a fool of me in that courtroom. He turned killer lawyer on me. He tried to use me to destroy Viki, and you know, by the time this case is over, I don't think half of Landview's going to be talking to the other half.
Somehow I keep thinking they're going to work this all out.
No, not from what I saw or heard in that courtroom. And what makes it even worse, neither Judith nor Herb seems to know the meaning of the word nuance. Everything is either black or white, yes or no.
So who do you think will win, Viki or Clint?
Oh, Viki looks a little in trouble right now. Could we please talk about something else?
Well, we've managed to bloody up the courtroom, haven't we?
A lot easier dealing with concrete evidence, isn't it? Instead, we have 2 decent people, and we're scrabbling to make a villain out of one of them.
Yeah. At least Judge Guernsey thinks so. He wouldn't have yanked them off into his chambers.
Oh. Happiest person in here if they would just come in and fire us because they changed their minds.
Nope. He'd be running a close second to me.